Yeah. Yes, it is.
Okay. We are on Brachas Tesvav Amid Beis. And Dilma Rab Yehudihi V'lachatchilahu Delo. Perhaps we're talking about the case where if you read Shema and you don't hear it to your ear, then it's Rabbi Yehuda who says L'chatchila you're not to do it, but Hadiyeved Shapir Dami. But if you did it ex post facto, it would be good. Lo Salkataytech. That we can't have that such a Hadamida. Dikitani, because the Brisa says Cheresh, a deaf mute, Dumya the short of a cotton, similar to a Meshigana, someone who has lost his faculties, and a minor. Not short of a cotton, the Evid Nami Lo. And we're talking about when they read, remember we said Cheresh short of a cotton cannot read the Megillah. So a short of a cotton certainly cannot read the Megillah, even b'di'evet, they can't be Motzias, of Cheresh, the Evid Nami Lo. So since the Gemara's assumption is, since we're putting Cheresh together with short of a cotton, that they're all treated the same way. So the Gemara says, who says, V'dilma ha'kedi isa, v'ha'kedi isa? No. Maybe Cheresh is treated one way. Remember, because they're an adult, they're just lacking a sense. While a shoit and a cotton and a chanami would be treated differently. So the Gemara says, what do you mean? But umi matzis look like Rabbi Yehuda. How could you have set it up like Rabbi Yehuda? V'ha'medik tani safe from the fact that the Sefer says Rabbi Yehuda machshir b'cotton. Rabbi Yehuda argued by a cotton and said that it's okay if a cotton reads Megillah. Michlal dereisha lav Rabbi Yehuda. You wanted to set up that the Mishnah is Rabbi Yehuda. How can you say the Mishnah is Rabbi Yehuda if the Sefer says, it shows Rabbi Yehuda arguing? That's okay, because Dilma Kula Rabbi Yehuda, perhaps the whole Mishnah is Rabbi Yehuda, and it's just to trey gavni cotton. There are two types of cotton, tzvei dinim, as the briskers would say in cotton. V'chisuri mechsera, there's some words missing. V'hachik tani, this is how you have to read it. Hakol ksherin likros is a Megillah, everyone is permitted to read the Megillah, chutz micheres shoyt v'cotton, except for a deaf mute, shoyt v'cotton. And b'med varma morim, when do we say that b'cotton shlo gig l'chinuch, where a cotton can't be mechanech? Let's say that's 7 years old, 8 years old. Perhaps a cotton shegil lechinuch according to Rabbi Yehuda is machshir even lechatchila. So Rabbi Yehuda machshir b'cotton. But Mayu kimta. So what have you set it up, Rabbi Yehuda? By Shema, where you listen to where you enunciate, but you don't hear to your ear. That the Eved in lechatchila lo. Lechatchila you can't do it, but the Eved if you did it, it's okay. But then Elahad Tani, Rabbi Yehuda Braid Rav Shimon ben Pazi, Cheresh HaMedaber. Let's say you have a mute, a deaf person who can speak. Ve'enu Shomeya, he said what? Toyem Lechatchila. There was a shita that the truma could be taken and it works Lechatchila. Namani. It can't be Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yehuda said only b'diavad it works, not Lechatchila. And V'lo Rabbi Yossi, who says even b'diavad doesn't work. Because Rabbi Yehuda diavad in Lechatchila lo. Rabbi Yossi diavad nami lo. So what is it, a third shita? No. Elamai, it's Rabbi Yehuda. V'afil Lechatchila nami. You have to say that Rabbi Yehuda holds Lechatchila, it's also good. And it's Elahad Tanya lo Yevarech Odom Bircha Mazon Belibo. Person should not bench sort of without enunciating words, just thinking about it. Now, the imbirech, and if he did so, yotza, again, mani, who is that? Lo Rabbi Yehuda, lo Rabbi Yosef, because Rabbi Yehuda, ha'amar fi lechatchila nami. Because the imbirech yotza is a language of b'diavad, not lechatchila. It should just say you're allowed to do it.
They say Shema in sign language. So it's fine.
Well, we learned in a previous blot that you could say Shema in any language, because Shema, Hashmel b'chol lashon shata shomeya. So sign language would work the same way, according to that opinion.
Tashumeh is not second language.
Okay, so maybe you would say, like Chaim, that since when you say it, you can hear it in any language, it means English, French, Chinese, but you can hear those.
Yeah, but he's deaf. The reason why I'm asking is there's a guy, I daven at a shul in the valley, and there's one guy, he's hard of hearing, and he does everything in sign language. He does Shema, well,
if this is nafkamina, let's say he reads Braille. He's obviously not hearing it so according to Rabbi Yehuda, who says b'di'evet, if someone reads that way, you're yotzei, so he would be yotzei b'di'evet. L'chatchila, you want to be hearing it. Now, in such a case, it would always be a b'di'evet case, because he can't do it any other way. According to Rabbi Yosef, b'di'evet, it doesn't work. So we pass like Rabbi Yehuda, that it works. So he can read it Braille. That means, what you're talking about, let's say somebody signs it to him, and he takes in the information, not by Braille, but through sign. So that would be totally in this machlokas, whether or not, sure, if that means, according to the opinion that says you can do it in any other language, but you have to hear those languages, perhaps. And taking it in visually may not work.
Is it Braille in Hebrew?
No, the guy doesn't read in Braille, he reads it, and he still.
I think there's Braille in Hebrew.
Yeah?
Yes.
Of course, sure.
Yes.
It's amazing.
You understand? So that would be a case of he's internalizing it without, like birach, like this, the same concept of lo yivarach adam birchas and belibov in birach yatsa. But it would work if he just internalizes it.
Very mentally saying it. but
Mentally,
not
he's saying it.
Vocally.
He vocally can't hear it
Can't hear
either.
it. That's what I'm saying.
Thank you.
So l'olam of Yehuda. Va'afilu l'chatchila nami. L'chatchila it works. V'loy kasha. Hadidei adarabbi, like we said yesterday. He has his own opinion. He has his opinion of his Rebbe, the Tanya. Amar Rebbe Mishum Elazar ben Azariah, Hakara Eshma, Tzarech She'ashmei La'ozno. In the name of Elazar ben Azariah's Rebbe, he held that you had to hear it in your ear. Shenemar Shema Yisrael. Amar Reb Meir va'arehu Omer Asher Anachim Etzav Chayom Alav Avecha. Achar Kavana Salei Vein Ein Advarim. You just, as long as you think about it in your heart. So you see, Reb Meir clearly holds that lechatchila you can do it even without hashmir le'ozno. Hashtados is lachi. You could say afilutem Rabbi Yehuda karabe sfirle. You don't have to say that Rabbi Yehuda is arguing with his Rebbe. You could say loy kasha Rabbi Yehuda Rabbi Yehuda who holds that it's not lechatchila. That's Rabbi Yehuda and his Rebbe. And Rabbi Meir who holds lechatchila you can do it as well. Aruch Chazam Rav Shila halachik Rabbi Yehuda she'amrim shem Elazar ben Azariah. That you have to hear. You have to listen to it with your ears. Halachik Rabbi Yehuda, and somehow we have to be told Halachik Rabbi Yehuda. Now, why did I have to be told both of those things? Utzricha. I need it. The Yashmin Halachik Rabbi Yehuda only. Hava, I mean, I feel Lachatchila. I might have thought that it's a Lachatchila din, not just a B'diavad din. Kamash B'la, Halachik Rabbi Yehuda, Shem Mishom Lez Bezayah, that it's only B'diavad. The Yashmin Halachik Rabbi Yehuda, Shem Mishom Lez Bezayah, Hava, I mean, it's Tzarich Ve'en Lo Takana. That means he has to hear it and he has no other way to go. Kamash B'la, Rabbi Yehuda, the B'diavad, if you did it in a way that you didn't hear it to your ear, it's not the ideal way, but if you did it b'diavad, it would work. On Rav Yosef. This whole machloikes is b'kriyas Shema, because it says Shema Yisrael. It gives us a concept of Shema, Shmiya. Ava b'shar mitzvahs divrei kol lo yotza. So the first statement of the Gemara is, by other mitzvahs, if you don't hear it, you're not yotzei. The chsiv in general, when we're told about mitzvahs, it says Haskeis u'Shma Yisrael. Listen, O Israel. Meis will ask a kasha on this. It says Lo Yivarach Odem Birchas Hamazon Belibo. Person should not say Birchas Hamazon without enunciating it. But in Birech Yotza, which seems to imply that you don't have to hear it. And Birchas Hamazon is an example of another shar mitzvahs other than Kriyas Shema. In fact, the Gemara wants to say this is the halacha. Amar Rav Yosef machlokas b'kriyas. This machlokas of whether or not you're yotze if you don't hear it, that's only by Shema t'chsiv Shema Yisrael. Ava b'shar mitzvahs divrei kol yotza. But by other mitzvahs you don't have to hear it.
Right, because
You can internalize it
because
it's only by Shema that it says Shema Yisrael.
How can you compare Birchas Hamazon is the Raisa?
No, but all other mitzvahs, Birchas Hamazon and Shofar and other mitzvahs, Shofar you have to hear it, but other mitzvahs that involve diburs and like that, if somehow you internalize it without actually hearing it to your ear, it'll work. When you're learning Torah, you should be in the habit of speaking it out. But by shar mitzvahs, you don't necessarily have to hear it. Period. Then it says Korvalo Digdek Bios Yosef. For example, we say Levav in Shema. You notice that when people read Shema, they're very careful. For example, Levavchem and Meheira. Levavchem Meheira. You could go one the mem of Levavchem and the mem of the Meheira. So Levavchem Meheira, or you don't want to swallow up words.
yeah,
You want to say each word distinctly.
Because the mem, yeah.
They also do the lamantiz kelu.
That there's a reason. There's a reason for like echad or de. Okay. But like for example, acher as opposed to echad. So lamantiz karu, you want to make sure that it's a zayin and not a shin or something like that.
It's a completely
Change the word.
Area is a complete, yeah.
So Amrav Tevi, Amrav Yoshi, halacha kedivrei shneim lahakil. The halacha is like both of the mandomrim in the Mishnah, that we're makel even if he's not medakdek, because it says karvelo digdek biyoser Rav Yossi Omer yotza. Right? So we're lenient regarding that. Amrav Tevi, Amrav Yoshi, Maidichsiv. Sholosh heina lotis ba'ena, sha'ol v'oitzer rechem. It's sort of, the sha'ol means a grave, the rechem is the uterus. The chima inyan sha'ol eitzel rechem. Why does this pasuk talk about the rechem and the sha'ol? It's a big limud here. Ma rechem, machnisu motzi. The uterus takes in the zera and the beitza of the female, creates an embryo, and then comes out a child. Avshol machnisu motzi. The grave also takes in a dead person, but later on by Tchias HaMeisim, a live person is going to come out. Balodram kavachomer. Not only that's a kavachomer. Umarechem shemachnisin boy b'chashai. It's quiet when conception occurs. But when the baby is born, it comes out screaming. Sha'ol, shemachnisim bo b'kolekoles. If you go to a funeral, people are crying, people are wailing, there's a lot of noise. Certainly, when Tchias HaMeisim come, it'll be with Hallel and noise and Rash. This is one of the responses to people who say, there's no raya for Tchias HaMeisim in the Torah. This is one of the examples. Tani Rav Shir Kamei de Rava. It says Uchsav Tom Hakol Bichsav Afilu Tzavos. That when you write a mezuzah, Uchsav Tom al mezuzos Pesach V'Sharacha, you shouldn't just write the dinim. You should write the tzivuyim as well, where Hashem is mitzaveh us. So if you have a husband and wife, the husband suspects her of infidelity, he warns her not to sequester herself in front of two Eidim in a room with somebody, and she sequesters herself. We don't know what happened in the room, but there's two Eidim, there's warning in front of two Eidim, and then two Eidim see them going. At that point, they can't live together anymore until he takes her to the Beis HaMikdash, and she drinks the sota. She drinks the sota and she survives, they can come back together again.
Only if you suspect her.
You have to go through this process of warning.
Yeah, but only if you
warns her in front of Eidim.
Yeah.
And then she has to be nichnas into a room with two Eidim where we don't know what happened in that room. Now there, we also write a Megillah with the various curses. We dissolve it and she drinks it. Gabi soy to olas koisev, tzavois ena koisev. By a sota, there we only write the curses. We don't write the commandments that says write them. Also, we'll see the cost of a salosa ela, because it's very specific there. Just write the curses. Avalocha dechsiv uchsav tam. See, it means ksav tam, a complete. The word tam, like Yaakov Avinu's ish tam yoshev ohalim, doesn't mean like chacham, rasha, tam, and v'she'eno yodei lishol. there a tam means sort of a simpleton. No. Tam means a sholem, complete. So ksav tam is a ksav, a complete ksav. Not just the dinim, but the tzavon as well. I feel it's tzavos tam. All the time in Rav Yehuda Mishum Dechsiv Kosav.
But really what he writes is Kedusha min Torah, the what he writes for an Isha, even though there's no positive commandment and the what he writes for the Sota, but that
There are parts of it that says you should write it,
Yeah, but
and that
yeah,
there's
but
there's
but
sivuyim there.
But that is Geniza, for example, is part of the Torah. It has the kedusha of Ksiva min Torah, right? That what he writes on the.
No, but then they dissolve it
I
in
know,
water.
I know, but that's why it's such a bad thing that if you have to do it because you're dissolving min
No, Shem Hashem.
Same.
Look, Hashem says, I'm willing to have my name dissolved to make shalom bayis between people.
So
But the question is, what do you have to write? So over there by Soita, you only have to write the klolos themselves. You don't have to write the
with the
tzibur.
shame with the Shem Hashem in it.
There's a Shem Hashem
Yeah,
there.
okay, that's what.
The cost of time in Rav Yehuda Mishum Dechsiv alos in savos lo. Perhaps there's no limud there because there it's only specifically said to write the curses. I still need it. I might have thought neiliv ksiva may also. We could have learned maybe mezuzah from Soita. Ma'asam always in savos lo. Avhochanami savos lo. Maybe I would have thought that we don't have to write the savos regarding the mezuzah. Because Rachmana uksav tom afilut savos. So, period. Tani Rav Ovadia Kamei de Rava. It says ulimad tem. Same thing. Shehei lemudcha tam. When you learn, it should be sholem. Sheyitin revach ben advekim. Words that stick together, make sure you separate them. Like what? Ani Rav Basrei Kigon al levavecha. Right? Al levavecha. The lamids, the al levavecha. Did you say one word, or did you say al levavecha? Or al levavchem, or bechol levavcha, bechol levavchem. Esev besadcha. So there also you have to separate Esev, take a breath, besadcha. Or va'avadetem meheira. If you say it very quickly, va'avadetem meheira, well, there's a one word, the mem gets swallowed up. So you have to be careful. Va'avadetem meheira. Hakanof Ptil techeles.
But that's with every word, you know.
No, because here we're seeing words that where the mem runs into another mem, or the pei runs into another
But
pei.
in the one before,
They're all lamed running into a lamed.
Vahavadetem me'ero doesn't write.
Vavadetem mehera, the two mems, mem to mem. It's all of these examples that the Gemara is giving is when there's back-to-back letters that are exactly the same. So there we have to pay special attention to separate. Eschem me'eretz. Again, the two men. Amr of Chama Brav Chanina. Whoever reads Kriya Shema and is very careful with these words, mitzananin lo Gehenna. They cool down Gehenna for him. That if for other reasons he would have to go to Gehenna, let's say, you know, but he was somebody who read Kriya Shema carefully, it'll be a little cooler for him there.
Put on the air conditioning.
Shenemer beperes shakai malachim ba tishlag b'tzalmon. Tishlag from the concept of shelling, snow. Al tikra beperes ele befaresh, where a person is separates. He makes everything beperush. He's mefaresh each word carefully. Al tikra b'tzalmon ele b'tzalmovis. That means the shade of death, which is Gehenna. So in such a place, it's going to be cooled off for the person. I'm sorry.